New this week from Image Comics, The One Hand, issue number 4, written by Ram V, art by Lawrence Campbell. Issue number 4 of The One Hand is quite simply one of the most exciting, astonishingly displayed, and mind-blowing comics that I've read in quite some time. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to say in this review, aside from, Reading this comic in tandem with The Six Fingers from Dan Watters week to week has been such a singular joy that the thought of it ending soon actually makes me really sad. It feels like a true comic event that you have to experience for yourself in order to understand, outside of the sheer spectacle and volume of work coming from big publishers like DC and Marvel. I strongly encourage you to pick up The One Hand and The Six Fingers and piece together the clues of this ever-evolving science fiction mystery yourself that is reaching increasingly more exciting heights. Alright, let's dive into issue number 4 now with some spoilers. For the first time, The One Hand and The Six Fingers pick up from the same place. Detective Ari Nassar talks to the unwitting one-hand killer Johannes through the wall of a hospital. Through the Six Fingers comics, we've learned that Johannes is being driven by an overarching consciousness, or AI, in order to commit the murders and write the strange symbols on the walls, for a reason that is yet to be revealed. But through this communication with this consciousness, Johannes is also able to access parts of the city that are inaccessible otherwise. For instance, when Johannes needed an escape after murdering the previous one-hand killer, Odell Watts, in a hospital, the mind of the city opened a door in the wall for him to escape through. Fucking what? That is so cool! Detective Nassar is able to ask Johannes a few questions from the other side of the wall, one of which being, what do the symbols mean? Cats, please, I'm filming a video, stop fighting. To which Johannes replies, I think it's a language. But the conversation is cut short with Ari's partner calling, saying to get out of the building as quickly as possible because the chief is coming with a squad of cops. Nassar is able to make his escape, which unfortunately brands him as a suspect in the killing of Odell, being the only person that was seen in the room. What this issue does so well is that it feels like the release of a central, pervading idea that has built-in tension with every issue of both The One Hand and The Six Fingers. Which is, what if the one-hand killer is more than an individual? What if it is a living notion, a concept, a new form of nature that we cannot fathom the intentions of? Even if we could decipher its language written in blood on the walls, would we understand what it has to say? Indeed, the new question becomes, what does it want? This hopeless, eerie sentiment is paired well with the first concrete evidence and lead from our detectives, who discover that the cameras on the street and in the hospital on Johannes' improbable course through the city were turned off along the way, revealing a kind of map back to Johannes' original location, a path that Detective Nassar intends to follow to the bitter end. After receiving an unmarked gun from a dealer in some of the most overtly brooding detective noir pages that we've had in the series thus far, Ari arrives at Johannes' apartment only to find the artist that has been sensationalizing the one-hand killings, Ada, who has been shadowing Johannes while he's possessed by the spirit of the killer. She tells Detective Nassar that Johannes doesn't understand or know how to control the killing either, and that he left with only one clue as to his destination, a name, Helen, aka Detective Nassar's artificial confidant and only friend. That's right, the detective's off the case and now shit's getting personal. While this comic is a triumph of intelligent design and masterful emotional appeal from a writing standpoint, it is also an artistic delight that I cannot commend enough. These pages are so effortlessly thematic and inventive and brutal. It feels like we are watching this effortless, defining performance from two seasoned dancers. And I, for one, am quite content to just sit back and watch their beautiful work play out. Remember to support your local comic book store and grab The One Hand issue number 4 on shelves now. The layout of this page alone is Eisner Award winning in my eyes. And oh my god, this page. I mean, just look at it. This hit me in the gut, man. I almost teared up. And it was by this page that I realized I wanted to see this movie. Oh, and I can't forget to mention that it appears that the language of this consciousness or AI is literally in the DNA of the victims. That's a crazy development. I feel like every writer says this with their current work, but this really does feel like it's on the pulse of a narrative that people should be reading right now in our society. Are you caught up with this series? How are we ever going to put a stop to the one-hand killings? Leave your theories in the comments below.